And the ladies are off now in this feature A race. We have two qualifying standards that the competitors might try for. The World Junior Standard is 16:40, and Amelia Mazzodowney, being a junior, will be looking for this time. Olympic qualifying standard for Rio is 15 minutes 20. As the girls settle down, so leading at the moment is Virginia Maloney. Lyndon Hall is running very, very well. And we have Amelia Mazzodowney well placed at the moment. The Elsevierian runner Sophie Ryan is also in that leading group. Two groups already starting to form. 12 laps remaining as they start to complete their first lap here. So they come round past the 200 metre mark, heading towards the water jump on this first tightly packed group, and the leaders there with Virginia Maloney, Lyndon Hall in that group. We'll get them all sorted out. We now have three distinctive groups. So leading at the moment, Virginia Maloney, but running past her at the moment is Lyndon Hall, now moving to the lead. Gemma Maney is now, who had a really good run the other night in the Milers Club, is right in there quickly behind her. Amelia Mazzodowney is in that lead group there, as is the Elsevierian runner, which is Sophie Ryan. And that lead group is now starting to put a little bit of space between them and the next lot. So Lyndon Hall, who's been running some very, very good times, especially over 1,500 metres in the United States while she's been studying there. She's now running the much longer distance, and she does have a best of 16:26.36 this year, so certainly is a formidable runner. So it's Hall on the inside, Maloney on the outside. Maloney's had a really good season. She's also the Victorian half marathon champion. She's run at Burnley each year. So the 1K split coming up. So Hall, Maney, Mazzodowney, Ryan, Maloney, followed then by Tarly Bird is there. 3:13.94 at the 1K, 3:13.94 at 1K. That's a 16:05 pace. So for the World Junior qualifier, that's terrific for Amelia Mazzodowney, as she can stay with this lead group. A little group of long distance aficionados down the back straight. Let's get behind these girls so we can push them and help them along on their journey. I can just draw your attention while this race to the electronic scoreboard. The full results of the previous race is now displayed. So we now have a little group of four as they straighten up coming in. And with 9 laps to go, Hall, Maney, Mazzodowney, and Alex Patterson. So we got a leading four as they move their way down the back straight there. Lyndon Hall running well. Gemma Maney just sitting on Amelia Mazzoudani on the inside. And we have the Elzevirian runner Alex Patterson, who was third in the National 3,000 metre Championships earlier this year. And she has to work hard to stay with this group as they're starting to put a little pressure on. So gap to the second group. Virginia Maloney leads that three girls there. And we have four distinct groups now as the race is now split up as the pace increases. That's Hall on the inside, Maney sitting to just outside of Mazzoudani in behind them. We're now finding Patterson is finding it very difficult to stay with this group. So Maloney leads from McSweeney, and that's Tali Bird just with her. In next place, the next group is Nicole Roberts, Samantha Prime. And we've got a 6:25, a 1:4, 2K. 16:05 pace is maintained with three runners now in that lead group. So Lyndon Hall's pushing it along. Maney is right there with her. Maney also, a few years back, studied in the United States. So obviously he's got some good international grounding for these young ladies. And of course Amelia Mazzoudani, who finished 14th in Cully in the World Youth Championships. So she is now gaining invaluable experience. So Patterson's dropped back a little bit, but still working hard. Gap to Maloney, followed by McSweeney. And then just moving past her, that's Tali Bird. That's Nicole Roberts with Samantha Prime. There's Sarah Waters. That's Carly McDade leading the next group. Got 7 laps to go, and the 3 leaders are just going by the water jump now. Good. So coming up the straight now with 6 laps to go. Mile and a half. Lyndon Hall still working hard out in front. Gemma Maney behind her. Amelia Mazzoudani. So the 3 of them continuing this pace. The gap has widened to Alex Patterson. Virginia Maloney is now broken away from Tali Bird and Sarah McSweeney. On the scoreboard, we've got some information on the AV knockout round and some of the junior events. They'll be at the Victorian Milers Club on Tuesday, the 1st of December. So check in on Athletics Victoria's website, because it's full of information there on upcoming events. So just keep your eyes open on those. 800 and 1500 metres there. And that's Nicole Roberts now going past the finish line there. Samantha Prime. Got Sarah Waters, Carly McDade, and we'll go back to the leading group now. Amelia Mazzoudani finding it very hard now to stay with these very strong pace. They come into the straight. Lyndon Hall pushing hard here. Gemma Maney there. There's a gap now to Mazzoudani, so she's got some real work ahead of her. She wants this qualifier. Now let's get behind the youngster as they come up. So Hall still striding very comfortably. Maney also looking comfortable. 5 laps to go. So time is 9:38.54, 3K. 9:38.54 at 3K. Patterson goes past the finishing line. Maloney's trying to peg her back. Big gap to Tarly Bird and Sarah McSweeney. So coming up to the finish line, Nicole Roberts from Box Hill, Samantha Prime, Carly McDade, so coming up the straight now, the relentless pressure that Lyndon Hall has been applying is now starting to impact on the other two runners. She's pulling right away now from Gemma Maney, who's hung in there as long as she could. Hall is looking very, very fit. 4 laps to go, 1 mile out. Mazzodowney is still working very, very hard to stay in contact. In 4th place, Alex Patterson. Maloney has closed the gap on her to somewhat. And of course, with her marathon and half marathon, she was 4th in the Melbourne Marathon and 13th in the Zatopek. She's got a lot of stamina. Tarly Bird in next place. 8th in the Zatopek last year. 10th in National Cross Country. So Lyndon Hall is there really putting the hammer down. She's moving further and further away from her rivals. Past the water jump, she's coming towards the home turn again. On the front straight, Samantha Prime about to be passed by Carly McDade. With the runners, they're in danger of being lapped. And it has begun. Lyndon Hall now has picked up the first of the tail end runners, and she'll have 3 laps to go, and she's really running very strongly. Gemma Maney, now the gap is closed on Gemma. Amelia Mazzodowney has sort of pegged Gemma back, so they should be able to work together for the next few laps. There's 3 to go, and Virginia Maloney now has caught and passed Alex Patterson. So Maloney's now coming back, using her strength, working her way back into this race. So at 4K split coming up in a moment. (12:51.46). 12:51.46 at 4K. 1K to go. So again, we pick up the leader. 70 metres from the finish line here. She'll have half a mile to go, or 2 laps, or 800 metres, whichever way you look at it. And it's Lyndon Hall from Essendon. Still a relentless stride, putting further and further distance between her and the followers. And Amelia Mazzodowney has now moved into 2nd place. She's still she's looking for that World Junior Qualifier of 16:40, so we'll get that time of hers the moment she finishes. Gemma Maney in 3rd place at the moment. Virginia Maloney is really closing the gap, running very well. Alex Patterson in next place. So Amelia needs 2 minutes 50 for the last 800 metres to get this qualifier. Let's get behind her on that back straight. So here comes Lyndon Hall, striding round the home turn. She's working her way. You'll be happy to hear the sound of that bell as they put the witches' hats out so we can segregate the finishers from the non-finishers. And Lyndon Hall coming up the straight, being exceedingly strong. And there's the bell, 1 to go. Running up the outside here is Amelia Mazzodouni in second place. She's put a bit of distance between herself and she's got a lap to go. So Amelia's got a lap to go now, and Gemma Maney in third place. She needs a 90-second last lap. Virginia Maloney still chasing, looking at the back of Gemma Maney. Patterson is running well, still in next place. That's McSweeney, has opened up a gap on Tarly Bird. So here comes round by the water jump, the leader of this race, Lyndon Hall, has really shown her overseas training and everything else in the United States, really putting great effect. Running for Athletics Essendon, World Commonwealth Youth medalist from a few years ago, coming down the straight, 50 metres to go, and it's going to be Lyndon Hall will be the Victorian champion. Coming down very strongly, she's just a fraction over 16.02 thereabouts. So 16.40 is the magical mark for Amelia Mazzodouni as she comes down the straight. So Amelia's coming down with about, clock is now at 16.16. So Amelia needs 16.40 and she's going to get inside this time here. So she comes down to the line. We've got an unofficial 16.27 for her, so that's a world junior qualifier when we get the exact time. A great run by her. There's Gemma Maney in next place, who has been passed by Virginia Maloney, actually, who came home like a train.